So
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we will be making for our first dish a spaghetti sauce or spaghetti bolognese sauce. And first, I'm going to start out by chopping some onions. I got half an onion right here, and I'm chopping it up. I'm kind of chopping it into cubes first because I think it tastes better that way. You can cut it up into slivers if you'd like as well, but I prefer it this way. And whilst you're doing that, you're also going to get out some garlic as well. You want to get a couple cloves of garlic because garlic has a really good flavor and we want that in our dish. So as you see, this knife is not really going to cut it for me. I'm going to switch over to my cleaver soon because I wasn't getting the result that I wanted. So you just chop it up as small as you can. Chop, 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 chop it up, chop it up. Just gonna chop it up nicely. And sometimes it's okay if you get over the onion a little bit, but you get the gist of what we're doing over here. I'm gonna go ahead, turn on the light a little bit, and put my pot on. I put some oil in the pot, and as you can see, it kind of splattered everywhere. So, we're gonna season the oil a little bit with some basil. You always want to impact flavor. So, we have basil, some bay leaf. We're also gonna get out some cinnamon. As you can see, I'm having a hard time looking for it. We have some thyme here. And you're just gonna put that in the oil so that the flavors can start to develop. For me, I always like to season my oil first. Not really season it, but just put something in there so that you have something to work with. So put some bay leaf, some thyme, basil, and some cinnamon in the oil. For me, cinnamon works. I don't know who taught me how to do that, but it gives the sauce a different type of flavor, and I prefer that flavor. So, as you can see, I'm gonna try to put that, all the stuff in, and just saute it up a bit. Saute it up, let it get slightly browned, not too brown, because we're not making a stew here, but it is kind of like a stew now that I think about it, but we're not making like that type of stew. We're just making a simple sauce to go over some spaghetti, maybe some bread in the next week. And as you can see, I'm getting ready to get my ground beef chopped up. So here I used about half a package of the ground beef. So you're gonna see me kind of cut it up in such a way. The middle wasn't thought out all the way though, but it's gonna be all right. I was in a bit of a rush because I almost had a class and I was about to miss it, so I only had an hour to really do this and take care of it. Normally, the more time you have is better, but time was not on my side. It still tasted awesome though. And throughout the week I warmed it up. So when you heat it up food, you heat it up, a day after the next day, it reduces and you get more flavor in your dish. So that's exactly what I did. As you can see, I'm sauteing up the ground beef and the onion and the garlic with the seasonings in there. And I'm gonna leave it in the pot until it gets predominantly brown. You want it to be browned all the way so that it will taste good. And then as you can see, I got one Roma tomato and I'm over here, I'm chopping it up. I'm also gonna get some tomato paste, tomato sauce, and diced tomatoes to add to the sauce. I just like the fresh tomato in there because it also gives it a type of, you get like a bite, a nice bite as well. And it reminds me of something that I used to have when I was in school. So that's why I like it that way. As you can see, I'm gonna work on trying to stab this thing a little bit. I'm gonna try or attempt to stab it all the way. Hopefully, it's gonna be good. All right. So now the meat has been browned, and as you can see, we've pretty much just sauteed off the beef. We have the onions, the garlic, and now we're just adding stuff that has salt. So my season of choice for today was some adobo. I just put a little bit in there, not too much, so that it will be too salty because you can't take out salt. I mean, you can if you have a potato, but we don't have that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add those tomatoes in. I got a little bit more to add in there. And then we're gonna wait a little bit, try to open up our little, we're gonna wait a little bit to try to open up our tomato paste or tomato sauce, and then we'll add that in there. Sometimes making a spaghetti sauce that's really good is a great way to stretch out, your budget if you have a meal. So this is the diced tomatoes that I'm adding in. And as for me, I think you see the bay leaf sticking out. I don't take out my bay leaf. If you have it in your food, you're lucky because bay leaf is really good for you. So I'm over here, I'm just making sure everything is, homogeneous. Um, it might not look the prettiest right now, but it'll come together a little bit later. But as you can see, um, what am I adding in now? That's the tomato puree. So this is a concentrated tomato paste. It comes out of a tube, like a toothpaste kind of tube, but it's really, really hard. really, really hard. We didn't need that much since it is like two times concentrated. So I used the remaining bit. It was like about 30 milliliters. But sometimes you just have to go with your heart. You do what your mind is telling you, or how do they say, your ancestors? You follow what your ancestors is telling you, and then you fix it. A bit later, you're gonna see me put in the sauce. And then, when the sauce, you taste it and you reevaluate it. If it needs more salts, please add more salts. If it needs some, pepper, add pepper. If you like spicy thing, add cayenne or something along those lines, and it'll work out. Sometimes we don't all have the same seasoning preferences, so it all depends on you. I only give the guidelines, or I do what I think my heart is right. So that's what I tend to do. But not too much salt, but something that you can taste with, because it is going to reduce down. And the more salt you put in, it might taste good now. When it reduces down to like that meaty sauce, it's not really going to taste as good as you think. So, yeah. All right. So, about 20 minutes later, you see my sauce over here simmering down. I'm someone that tends to cook on high heat. I don't know. That's how it was wired. So just scrape the bottoms, make sure it's not burned. But as you can see, everything is coming together. It's coming together nicely. If you're a fan of, I don't know, if some people are a fan of no sugar in their spaghetti sauce, and some people like sugar in it. I'm the latter. I prefer to have a little bit of sugar in there to cut the acidity. And for some reason, I don't know what it is about brown sugar and molasses, but no, well, not brown sugar, but sugar and molasses together, it creates the brown sugar. But I like that in my dish. So I think I lost. Oh, I didn't lose it. There we go. I have a video coming up, a pic, well, not a video, a pic, a video of me actually making the spaghetti sauce, the spaghetti and the sauce together as it comes together. I didn't actually add the part and where I add the sugar because that is a bit controversial, and I ain't finna be on nobody's thing. You put some, no. So I just put like 2 spoons of sugar. You really do it to your taste, and then you simmer it even you simmer it down even more. Once you do that, you get such a wonderful sauce. The sauce came out just gorgeous. I had a little bowl before class because I could only have so much, and I added some mozzarella cheese. I thought I was a fan of Parmesan, but I don't think I like Parmesan after I had a sample of it at Costco. So now I'm a mozzarella babe. hmm It was very delicious, and now we're gonna move on to a different dish in the next video. So I really do want to thank you for watching it. If you got this far, please leave a like if you do like it. And hopefully, we'll have more videos like this to come in the near future. You have a great evening, morning, or afternoon. Goodbye.